Hello there, fabulous people of TikTok. Hope this finds you doing well. And if you're not doing well, I hope you're doing better shortly. So you have stumbled upon story time with Mama Cat. Oh, don't get too excited. It's nothing all that amazing. After all, what kind of stories can a crazy cat lady like me have, right? Not a lot, really, actually. But there is something I can share. Besides mindlessly scrolling through TikTok and doing all the stupid filters just because I get bored and feel like it. I am going to share tonight my little story of how I started hiking 3 years ago. So, y'all just pull up a chair and get you a cup of tea. This here is a loose leaf mint raspberry. Got this in the mail a couple months ago. It's really good. So grab a cup of tea, grab a glass of wine, grab a beer, grab some water, grab whatever, make yourself at home. So, why would TikTok care about me learning to hike 3 years ago? Oh, I don't know. Probably don't. But on the off chance there is someone out there who is now where I was 3 years ago and is always wanted to do hiking but never had the first clue how to do it and feel like they're physically not in the condition to ever be able to do it. Well, this is really for them because that was me 3 years ago. 3 years ago, well, let me go back to the very, very beginning. I have always wanted to learn to hike. Always. I'm 50 years old now, and I remember from the time I was very, very little, 4, 5, 6, always running around going, I'm going to hike the Appalachian Trail. I'm going to hike the Appalachian Trail. Not even really having any concept of it, what that was. It's a 2,200 long trail uphill both ways between here and Maine. Had no idea. But I just knew somehow that I was going to hike the Appalachian Trail. So, one of my older brothers was an avid backpacker. He was 14 years older than me, so I never really consciously remember him doing any kind of backpacking, hiking, camping, etc., because he was so much older than me. But apparently that subconscious seed got dropped into my head at a very early age. So it's always been in the background. I want to learn to hike. I want to go backpacking. I don't want to just do the car camping at the state park. I want to do, what I called at the time, real camping. Not that one kind of camping is more real than another, but, I didn't know all the terms for it. I didn't know car camping and backcountry camping and yada, yada, yada. I just knew I wanted to be out in the wilderness with a backpack, hiking places, and particularly the Appalachian Trail. But nobody in my world was ever into that stuff. Nobody. Like I said, my brother was so much older than me, I didn't realize till after he died. I did not learn to what extent he was an avid hiker. So, it's always been in the background. Nobody in my world knew how to do it, cared to do it, wanted to do it. Hiking was just not a thing in my world. But I always, wanted it to be. So about 3 years ago, in 2020, yes, the year of the plague, in about July of 2020, I'm surfing along the internet and I stumble across this website, the 52 Hike Challenge. Y'all go ahead, Google it, pause, Google, come back. And basically you do 52 hikes in 52 weeks. Hike was counted as anything at least a mile. And I thought, ooh, I can do this, maybe. I'm going to try this because I want to hike. Gosh darn it. So I signed up. It was free. The basic membership thingy was free. And I downloaded the All Trails app and I started looking for trails around me, and gosh darn it, I was going to learn to hike. Now the fun fact that you don't know is that in July of 2020, I was about 97 pounds heavier than I am right now. I was 255 pounds. I was ridiculously sick. I had no energy. None. Zero energy. I could do one thing a day. I could work or cook dinner. Under no circumstances could I cook and work and go to work. You know, so fast food, frozen crap, whatever. I was just sick, right? And this whole thing of going to work and then running an errand or two on the way home wasn't going to happen. I had no energy. I had to carefully parcel out my activities every single day to be sure that I wasn't running out of energy. Okay, it was bad. So it was in this condition that I started hiking. And at the same time frame when I'm making all these plans to start hiking, I went to my doctor, got a whole physical, etc. Found out I'm type 2 diabetic. I had non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. I had, of course, high cholesterol, yada, yada, yada. All the things that explained why I was so sick. So she told me how to clean up my eating, put me on metformin, told me to exercise, which I was already planning on doing. I can do a whole other video on all that if you care to hear it. But so, July 18th, 2020, I went on my first ever hike. 255 pounds, slow as molasses. I went to a local nature preserve near me. At the time it was Forest Hills Nature Preserve in Cobb County, Georgia. I don't live there anymore, so don't look for me there because you won't find me. Excuse me. So the deal is 1 mile for it to count as a hike. And at the time I'm like, oh my God, a whole mile. That felt impossible. It really did. Completely impossible. But I figured, okay, all I have to do is go half a mile out and half a mile back. Surely I can do that, right? Oh my gosh, y'all, it was bad. It was so hard. Okay, first of all, it's mid-July in Georgia. Hello. What was I thinking? Duh. Mid-July in Georgia. Hot, humid, like walking around with a soaking wet washcloth slapped across your face. That's what Georgia in July is like. And this trail, it was not a real hiking trail. It was just a nature preserve. Perfectly flat, no obstacles, easy. Y'all, it took me over an hour to go a mile. Over an hour. Half a mile out, half a mile back. And man, was I dead when it was over. But you know what else I was? I was enchanted. Even if it's not the real wilderness, even if it's just a little nature preserve, a nature trail in the city, I knew this is my home. Out here in the woods, hiking. Yeah, this is where my heart belongs. So that was my first hike at 255 pounds. Sick, no stamina, no endurance, zero cardio fitness. I mean, I was a mess. But I started that week. And every week, I kept going out again and again and again. This trail, that trail. And the thing is, it doesn't matter how slow I was because, gosh darn it, you better believe I'm still incredibly slow. The trick is, you don't quit. You just keep moving. When it's hard, when you're exhausted, you embrace the suck and you just keep moving. So that's how I started my very first hike. I will tell y'all more in the next video if you want. Leave a comment, let me know. Bye for now.